Hi everyone, it's Amber from The Sensible Mama. I just got home yesterday from a trip to Dallas, Texas, where I was working on the collaboration bag that I'm coming out with 12Little. And I traveled there by myself, and I had asked you guys on Instagram, what bags did you want to see me pack up for my trip? Now, I was flying Spirit, which means that you do get one carry-on bag for free, like a purse or a small personal item, but then anything above and beyond that you have to pay for. So I said I wanted to bring something that was going to be small and lightweight, but big enough to pack all the things that I would need for a altogether 3-day trip. So after talking to you guys about what you wanted to see, I did decide to carry the 12Little On The Go plus my KeriKit Lennox. The On The Go had pretty much all of my clothes and accessories and things that I needed for once I got to the hotel, and the Lennox had my personal things in it as well as all of my stuff for filming and editing YouTube videos while I was there. I have to say that I was super pleased with how this packed up. Now keep in mind I did not have my kids with me, I did not have my husband with me, so this is just packed for me. And to be honest, I felt like it was just the right amount. In fact, with the Lennox, maybe I had a little bit more space than I needed, which is not a bad problem to have. Overall, I found that this was pretty lightweight. I was able to wear heels through the airport and wasn't totally uncomfortable even with 2 bags on me. So I think I made a good choice. I think this will be how I travel in the future, as long as I'm traveling on the cheaper airlines where I'm trying to save money, as well as when I'm traveling by myself and without my kids. I've got some helpful tips and tricks in here that I've kind of learned after a kind of now 3 or so years of traveling, using diaper bags exclusively as my luggage. So watch all the way through to the end, because I do think that there's helpful stuff that you'll find even in this Lennox that I have packed as a purse. So with all that said, let's go ahead and get started. A lot of the things that I'm going to show you today are available at thesensiblemama.com, so I will put links to those things down in the description box below in case you want to support my store. We have lightning fast shipping, 5-star rated customer service, and now we have just introduced Sezzle and completely fast and free product returns that are totally automated so that you can do the return, get an RMA, which is like a reference number for completing your return. We mail you the shipping label via email, and it's taken care of lightning fast. This is something that I'm super proud of as we continue to try to establish ourselves as one of the best and most customer-friendly websites out there today. So if you want to shop with us, I'll leave that in the description box. There will also be things here that I found on Amazon or in other places, and wherever possible, I will link those for you as well. I'm going to start by showing you what I had packed in the On The Go, because this had all of my luggage related stuff in it. Now I'm going to go ahead and say that probably my one gripe about the On The Go is that there is not a lot of space in this front slip pocket. So really I was just using this to slip my boarding pass, and then every now and then my phone or something like that that I needed to get out of my hands. And it looks like the only thing that I really had in there was some Q-tips. There is a key leash in this front slip pocket of the On The Go, but I have really big keys, and I just found that this was not going to be the best place for me to put my keys, so that just stayed in there without having my keys attached to it. In this side bottle pocket, I had my selfie stick. This is a Gorilla Pod. I'll link it. I found it on Amazon. This was for my camera. I did not want to bring my big, tall tripod like what I'm using right now to film, so I brought this to use as a selfie stick or as a small tripod for filming some kind of standard YouTube videos while I was there. In the other bottle pocket, I had my Big Bottle Co. Adventure Range bottle. This was empty when I brought it through the airport, because obviously you can't go through security with liquids like this, but I wanted to have this with me during my trip to fill up with water when I left the hotel. So this was empty, sitting in that side pocket. In the back, we do have this one long zip pocket here. This is the kind of pocket that zips at the very bottom as well, so that you can throw this over the handle of your rollerboard luggage. I did not have rollerboard luggage with me, but I did find that every now and then there was like a pole or something that I could actually hang this on anyway, so I had left this empty just in case I found myself needing to do that. Now this back zipper pocket is probably my favorite thing on the On The Go for travel, because back here is where I kept things that I knew I was going to have to get out of my bag quickly while I was going through TSA security. So the first thing is I had some of my liquids in baggies sitting right back there. So when I went through, you have to put all your things in the bucket. I just opened this back slip pocket and was able to pull these out. Didn't have to worry about like getting into my bag and things toppling out or people seeing my underwear that I had packed or whatever. It's just all in that back slip pocket. You can see I had put a flyer from one of the booths I had seen at the convention. Then I also had my laptop in there as well. I spilled some coffee on this on my way home, so it's a little, I gotta clean it off. But since you have to put these in the buckets as well as you're going through security, I wanted to have this in that back slip pocket as well to get to it quickly. Then down in the bottom, I had some things that I wasn't sure if I was allowed to have on the airplane and the carry-on. I have, well, this was a toothbrush. I just had that down in there because it folded over nicely, and so I didn't stick it inside of a bag because it was clean. But then I had my razor down in there as well. It turns out, in case you didn't know, you can carry disposable razors and their cartridges in your luggage. But I had put this down in the bottom because I was like, well, at least I can get to that quickly if I'm not allowed to have it, and I can just toss it. Now moving on to the main compartment. This I thought packed up really, really well, and I think that what made it work so nicely was that I did not put things in pouches, which was against my typical inclination, but it seemed to work out well. So sitting right on top, I had my dock for charging my Apple Watch and my iPhone. I had a pair of flip-flops sitting right here in the center compartment. I wore heels through the airport because I knew that I would want those on my trip, and they didn't fit so well in here, so I brought the flip-flops but wore the heels. Next, off to one side, I had my hair straightener and my curling iron on the other, and those were just tucked down into the side corners. The On The Go has two slip pockets that are short that attach about halfway down from the top of the bag there. So on this side I had my travel size Neutrogena face wipes, and on this side I had some night serum and a vitamin C oil that I like to put on my face. There are two front slip pockets on the Go, and I used two of these small pouches from two different pouch trios by 12Little to go in both of those pockets. The first one had all of my makeup in it. These are things that have some degree of liquids in them, and I wasn't sure if I was gonna have to pull these out or not. So I liked that these were sitting right there in that pocket so that in case I did have to be stopped by TSA, I could just pull that out and give them this and it's all right there. And then in the other small pouch, I had a bunch of Apple Watch bands and jewelry. So I wanted to show you how much of my clothes I was able to fit in here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 shirts in here, as well as a second pair of jeans down in the bottom. So this was a 3-day, 2-night trip. I was wearing one pair of jeans and had a second pair of jeans packed here. And I figured that was enough. Like, I didn't mind having to wear one pair of jeans over again. Now also in here, I did have a pair of shorts and a t-shirt for pajamas, but those actually went into the wash right when I got home last night, so those aren't in here, but those fit as well. And I just decided not to use pouches for the clothes because honestly, it fits so nicely down in there and tucked so well down into the bottom that I just didn't feel I needed the pouches to take up extra space. Now in this back slip pocket is where I was keeping makeup palettes. Here I have an eyeshadow palette by Too Faced, my contour palette by It Cosmetics, and a highlighting palette by Anastasia. And those really fit so nicely back in there. And lastly, this back slip pocket was where I was keeping undies. Those are all safely back in there now, but when I travel, it's just my biggest fear that they're going to pull open my bag and like underwear is gonna go flying out. So I liked keeping those in that zipper pocket as I went through the airport, just to make sure that no one was gonna be taking a look at those. So that was everything that was in the On The Go. Now let me show you how I had my Lennox packed. So for those of you who are less familiar with this bag, this is the KeriKit Lennox. It is full leather and this is in the toffee color. We are unfortunately sold out at this time, but I am hoping to get more of these in stock in the future. This is packed really lightly because already my On The Go was starting to feel heavy and I knew I was going to be carrying this either over the shoulder or crossbody, and I just wanted it to feel nice and light. I will say that for most of the weekend, when I was just out and about and carrying this by itself as my purse, I did use just the short strap over the shoulder, but this included long strap that comes with the bag was invaluable to me while I was going through the airport. I ended up wearing this bag crossbody for most of the time I was in the airport because it helped keep it on my shoulder. It wasn't slipping down while I was walking around waiting for my flight. In these front pockets, again, I packed really, really lightly in here. So here I just had my matte lip gloss and my shimmery lip gloss. And then this other side pocket I had kept empty. This was where I was usually dropping my phone. Over here in this side pocket, I was keeping my sunglasses. And I kept this side bottle pocket empty. I do have some Excedrin in there, but that was just tucked way down in the bottom. And really what I was using this for was whenever I had pulled out my power bank to charge my phone while I was out, I would put that here in the pocket so that I could keep my phone on the charging cable and leave the power bank in there and I could still use my phone while I was walking around. This back slip pocket was really just kind of a catch-all for me while I was out. I did have my AirPods tucked in there. You can see how slouchy this bag is. It's natural, full grain leather, so it does really, really slouch as I unpack it, which is something that I love about this bag. Here is what the inside looked like. It's kind of hard to show you because of how slouchy this bag is. There are two slip pockets right in the front of the bag, here and here. And in one of those, I had my KeriKit Millie wallet. Then in the other front slip pocket, I had the charger for my laptop. There are two pockets across the back here, and I mostly had those empty. Again, I was trying to keep this light. But one of those pockets was where I was keeping the power bank and the charger when those were not in use. In this back zipper pocket, I'm not sure I had anything in here. Oh, all I had in here was the charger for my power bank. So if my power bank ran out of power, I would be able to charge that while I was back at the hotel room. Now, the last thing that I have in here is my 12Little diapering clutch in the color black. And because I had planned on doing some YouTube videos while I was in my hotel room, I decided to keep all of my video equipment in here. Now, I am filming with my camera right now, so I'll show you where it was, but obviously the camera is not in here at this moment. Here's kind of a peek at how it was all packed up. In this front pocket right here, you can see how this is a nice big roomy pocket. This was where the body of my camera was sitting, as well as the long strap to the clutch. So the clutch does come with a long strap, which you see here. So I was basically using this as a camera strap. Now, like I mentioned, I only had the body of my camera in here because once I put the lens on there, it fit kind of in a way that made me think it would snap or break if I were to drop this. So I actually utilized the new elastic strap on the clutch, which you can see right here. This is meant for keeping a sippy cup if you're using this as a diapering clutch, but I put the lens to my camera there so that it was nice and secure and wouldn't be rolling around. Now this has kind of come out during my travels, but on this side I have a USB microphone that I was going to use for some voiceovers, and I put that in front of the change pad just because these are very stretchy elastics. It's meant to let you be able to put diapers or changes of clothes there or whatever, and it was a little bit too much for my microphone. So with that change pad back behind there, it made that stay in just a little bit better. And then lastly, in the little modular piece that comes inside of the clutch, this is where I was keeping a lightning cable, 2 spare USB cards, my battery charger, and a spare battery. So with all that together, I basically had everything that I needed for filming videos while I was on the go. So guys, that's it for today's video. I hope that it gave you some helpful tips for how you might want to pack if you're traveling alone, or even how you might pack this up as just a carry-on bag when you've got other things that you're bringing along with your family. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments below. Wherever possible, I will link products in this video that I have shown down in the description box so that you can find some of those things for yourself as well. Love ya, mean it, always, mwah, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.